Hey everyone, PixelatedQuest here. I dive into games, old and new, play them myself, and tell you whether they're worth your time. Today we're tackling a classic that refuses to die, RollerCoaster Tycoon 2. Or more specifically, OpenRCT2, the modern open source version that basically took the original game, dusted it off, added steroids, and handed it back to us, saying, "Here, go create a park so disaster prone that your guests treat every ride like a survival challenge." So, the big question, is RollerCoaster Tycoon 2 still worth playing in 2025? Spoiler, yes, but let's break down why, because this isn't just nostalgia goggles talking. Let's set the scene. It's 2002. You're hunched over a chunky CRT monitor, the family PC sounds like it's auditioning for NASA, and you're trying to build your first theme park. You plop down a Ferris wheel, a janky wooden coaster with more twists than a soap opera, and a pad system so confusing it could double as a maze for lab rats. Your guests are wandering aimlessly, half of them starving, a quarter of them lost, and at least a dozen of them vomiting because you thought a hot dog stand next to a 90-degree drop was a brilliant idea. That's RollerCoaster Tycoon 2 in its purest form, a glorious mix of creativity, chaos, and charm. The game was a masterpiece of simplicity back then, letting you build sprawling parks with just a few clicks while giving you enough freedom to make catastrophic decisions. Want to build a roller coaster that launches guests out of the map? Go for it! Want to charge $20 for a burger and watch your park rating plummet? Be my guest! It's this freedom that made RCT2 a legend, and it's why we're still talking about it over 2 decades later. But let's be real, the original RollerCoaster Tycoon 2 had its quirks. The graphics were pixelated enough to make your eyes beg for mercy, the UI was clunky by today's standards, and good luck running it on a modern PC without jumping through hoops. That's where OpenRCT2 comes in, and oh boy does it change the game. And if you're looking to relive the chaos, both RollerCoaster Tycoon and RollerCoaster Tycoon 2 are available on Steam, bringing the nostalgia to your fingertips. If you haven't heard of OpenRCT2, let me break it down for you. It's an open source community-driven rebuild of RollerCoaster Tycoon 2 that takes everything you love about the original and cranks it up to 11. Think of it like the developers looked at the RollerCoaster Tycoon 2 and said, "This is great, but what if we made it run like a dream, add a ton of new features and let players do things that Chris Sawyer could only dream of back in 2002. And here's what OpenRCT2 brings to the table. Multiplayer madness. Yep, you can now run a theme park with your friends, or more accurately, watch your friends turn your carefully crafted park into a dystopian nightmare. Imagine one person meticulously designing a family-friendly carousel while another builds a 200-foot-tall launch coaster and calls it the Spinebreaker right next to it. Or someone just spans 500 ice cream stalls at the entrance and calls it strategy. Multiplayer is chaos in the best way possible. Next, modern resolutions. No more squinting at pixelated guests who look like they escaped a 90s clip art collection. OpenRCT2 supports high resolutions, widescreen displays, and smoother scaling, so your park looks crisp even on a 4K monitor. Next we have Sandbox freedom. Want unlimited money? Done. Want every ride unlocked from the start? You got it. OpenRCT2 gives you God mode tools to build without restrictions, perfect for those of us who just want to create a park so ridiculous it defies physics. Next, there's the community scenarios and mods. The OpenRCT community is wild. You can download scenarios that let you build parks in volcanoes, on floating islands, or even inside recreations of famous landmarks. And then there's the quality of life upgrades. From faster construction tools to better pathfinding for guests, OpenRCT2 smooths out all of the rough edges of the original. You can even save your game mid-ride design, which is a real hero moment when you're invested 30 minutes into a coaster and realize it's about to launch guests straight into oblivion. This is basically the definitive version of RollerCoaster Tycoon 2, a love letter from fans to fans. And the best part? It's completely free. You just need a copy of the original game, which you can grab on Steam or GOG to use its assets, and you're good to go. What really sets RollerCoaster Tycoon apart and what OpenRCT2 amplifies isn't just the mechanics or the shiny new features, it's the stories. No other game, not even heavyweights like Planet Coaster or Parkitect, captures the perfect blend of freedom, chaos and unintentional comedy quite like RollerCoaster Tycoon. A few years back I built what I thought was the ultimate coaster. Loops, corkscrews, drops so steep that make even a stunt pilot dizzy. I called it the Apocalypse Express, opened it to the public, and the cars rolled backwards, crashed into the station and exploded in a shower of guests' unhappy alerts. My park rating plummeted and I stared into the screen wondering what went wrong. These moments are what make RollerCoaster Tycoon timeless. It's not just a game, it's a sandbox for disaster comedy. Every session is a new story, whether it's a coaster malfunction, a guest riot, or your friend deciding that more fireworks is the solution to every problem. Now, you might be thinking, why play a game from 2002 in 2025 when we've got shiny new titles like Planet Coaster or Parkitect? It's a fair question, so let's break it down. Planet Coaster. A big budget AAA park sim with stunning visuals and insane detail. But it's a resource hog, and building complex rides can take hours. Great for perfectionists, overwhelming for casual chaos. Parkitect. Retro-inspired with modern polish leaning heavily into management. Perfect if you love micromanaging staff and optimizing systems, but less fun if you just want to create outrageous coasters. OpenRCT2. This is the Goldilocks of theme park simulations. It's lightweight enough to run on a potato, simple enough to pick it up in minutes, but deep enough to keep you hooked for hours. It doesn't care about photorealistic graphics or complex spreadsheets. It's all about fun. You can build a park, crash a coaster, bankrupt yourself, and laugh the whole time. And with OpenRCT2's modern features, it feels like a game made for 2025, not 2002. The magic of OpenRCT2 is accessibility. You don't need a $2,000 gaming rig or a PhD in logistics to enjoy it. It's pure, unfiltered creativity with just enough chaos to keep things interesting. So, is it worth playing in 2025? Short answer, absolutely. Long answer, absolutely. And you might need to set an alarm to remind yourself to eat, sleep and blink. RollerCoaster Tycoon 2 via OpenRCT2 is a rare gem. A game that's equally parts nostalgia and innovation. It's got the heart of the original with all the charm and quirks that made it a classic, but it's been upgraded with features that make it feel fresh and relevant. Whether you're a veteran who spent its childhood drowning guests in squares of water tiles or a newcomer discovering it fresh, there's magic here. Its simplicity is its strength. A quick 20-minute session can turn into a 4 AM, your park is in depth, guests are rioting and you laughing at chaos session. OpenRCT2 also showcases what passionate fans can achieve. Volunteer developers keep it alive, add features, fix bugs, and make it endlessly replayable. Thanks for joining me on this ride through RollerCoaster Tycoon 2. If you enjoyed this dive into this iconic game, give this video a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button and drop a comment below with the most ridiculous thing you ever built or done in RollerCoaster Tycoon. Did you trap your guests in a one-tile footpath? Build a coaster that never stops crashing? I need to hear your stories. Until next time, keep your guests happy, your bathroom stocked, and your coasters just barely safe enough to pass the inspection. This is PixelatedQuest signing off, see you in the next video. Congratulations to the winners of this giveaway, listed here. Send me an email to claim your Steam key. If you also want to participate in the next giveaway, which will be in the next video I release, simply subscribe to my channel. I will be picking 5 random subscribers with each video releasing.